Well, the Mariners take 2 out of 3 against the Toronto Blue Jays, and that is the 4th consecutive series the Mariners have won, dating back to the Houston Astros sweeping the Texas Rangers, and also a come-from-behind victory for the Cincinnati Reds to make it 2 out of 3, and then they took 2 of 3 from the Blue Jays. And this is the Rooftop Sports. Thank you very much for clicking on this video. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification. Other ways to support me: join my YouTube membership for just $5 a month, or join the Patreon page for $5 a month. If you're wondering what those are, you'll get exclusive access to some exclusive content, including fantasy baseball updates and even my softball updates. Basically, you can just call it a fantasy baseball and softball diary, if you want to name it that way. But yeah, thank you for doing that. Thank you for being the members. And let's get right into it. And the Seattle Mariners, they took 2 of 3 from the Toronto Blue Jays. And it was certainly, I would like to say, it was a very inspiring series victory. They needed it badly, because you do not want to lose that series going into Boston, as the Mariners have won. They have only won like 3 out of the last 15 games in Fenway Park. So the Mariners really needed a 2 out of 3 at least, or would have preferred a sweep to offset the possible disaster of Boston. And here I am. I'm going to be going over each game real quickly. Mostly we'll go over the third game. And now let's get into it. So game 1, the Mariners had just traveled from Cincinnati to Toronto. They seemed that they were exhausted, and it was kind of evident. The team seemed lost, unfortunately, as the Mariners just couldn't get up any runs at all. They only had 1 run. Brian Wu pitched what he could, but unfortunately, he was pitching into some trouble. There was a lot of contact by the Toronto Blue Jays, including Alejandro Kirk being able to hit some stuff. And George Springer pretty much carried that team with his heads-up base running and hitting. And the other thing that carried the Blue Jays to a victory in that first game was really bad base running by Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena, and Rowdy Tellez. So how it happened, Cal Raleigh he hit a nice base hit, and he was greedingly going for second base because he thought he had a shot, and then he was thrown out. And then Randy Arozarena got thrown out because he overran the bag of third base and tried to get home, got caught in the rundown. But there was a moment where I felt that he actually could have escaped the tag or outrun the catcher, but he didn't, because I guess he just wasn't paying attention. And then Rowdy Tellez ran on a shallow pop fly to right field. He still was running, knowing that the right fielder had an arm for it, and he was gunned down, and it wasn't even close. My friend Jay tried the podcast. He expressed that it wasn't even close. It wasn't even worth running on any of those 3. So that really played the role on why the Mariners lost. And let's just say it was just a really bad game. And that's how I would characterize a game like that. Like, it was just really, really bad, the way the Mariners lost that game. And you couldn't even put any of the blame on the pitching. Or even the hitting. It was just really bad base running by those 3 guys: Cal Raleigh, Randy Arozarena, and Rowdy Tellez. And yeah, after all talking about that disastrous game 1, I'm just going to have to show you a video from SeatGeek, because give me a breather, an opportunity to breathe. SeatGeek is a mobile ticketing app for sporting events, concerts, and other events. They make the buying experience easier by the app ranking each ticket from 0 to 10 to see if you are getting a good deal, and you can see exactly where you are sitting. I regularly use that app, and I have had nothing but a fantastic experience with SeatGeek. Use my promo code RoofTopSports to get $20 off of your first purchase. Link to the code, app, and website will be in the description, so take advantage, and thank you. And yeah, use that promo code RoofTopSports to get your $20 off, especially with the Mariners will be coming back to Seattle for their series against Miami after this dreading Boston series that I'm absolutely dreading for. But before I get too negative, let's get into game 2. So Logan Gilbert, from what I remembered, he had some tough times with Toronto as they were able to hit, but he did hold them to 3 runs, and he actually had a good strikeout amount. I believe it was 8 strikeouts. Correct me if I'm wrong. Going to double check and make sure that it was 8 strikeouts, as Logan Gilbert, I mean, it wasn't his best game. Like, it wasn't his prototypical Logan Gilbert game, but it was enough to keep the Mariners in the game. And now I'm just double checking on the stats right there. It was actually 9 strikeouts. He actually had 9 strikeouts, but he had 2 earned runs, as he did struggled a bit. And it got to the point where the game was actually 3-2 Toronto lead. And then, miraculously, Ben Williamson hit a really clutch tying home run, and it was his first home run as a major leaguer. And Ben Williamson, how about Ben Williamson? Yeah, his batting average isn't as pretty, but he really did contribute. Like, he would get on base, he would make the hits when it matters most. So maybe he has some clutch potential. And credit to the bullpen as well. Like, the bullpen, they were able to hold it down despite having some hits. Like, Vargas was struggling the most. But aside from that, Casey Legumina, he was doing pretty well. Carlos Vargas had his difficulties. Eduardo Bizardo and Andres Munoz, Bizardo had some struggles as he was trying to get out of that jam, but Andres Munoz was lights out. He even had a strikeout, so he did very well. Then we go into the extra innings, and the Mariners were able to get a run to take the lead 4-3. And then Rowdy Tellez, by shock, he hit this amazing grand slam home run. And I just have to show you this reaction. Here it is. Tellez has got to get more runs in. If he's not getting runs in, he should be DFA'd after this. And now the 3-2 pitch. And now here's a fly ball to deep right field. And that is gone. That's a grand slam home run by Rowdy Tellez. And the Mariners have just broken this game open to make it 8-3, and a grand slam home run by the unlikely hero, Rowdy Tellez. Who is shocked as much as I am? All of you are. No one saw this happening. And now it's again 8-3, and this ball game might be iced. I shouldn't say that. But when that hit happened, that was gone. That was just blasted, and that's his third home run. And after me crapping on Rowdy Tellez all day, he gets a grand slam home run. So yeah, as soon as Rowdy Tellez hit that grand slam home run, you figure that the Mariners were going to have a really good shot to win that game, and they did. Although they gave up a run in the bottom of the inning, they still held on to win 8-4. Then it was game 3. I was really nervous about game 3 because all I was thinking was Luis Castillo. He's been very inconsistent, and throughout the pitching, Luis Castillo did not pitch good at all. I think this was not one of his better outings. Like, he just wasn't there. Like, he just seemed lost. He had some trouble with his commands today, which was it was very concerning to watch. Like, let's look at his stat line, I want to take a look at his stat line, but every single inning, he always had a man on base, and he got away with some bases loaded. He gave up 10 hits, 3 earned runs, and 5 strikeouts, but for standard starter standards, that's actually pretty good. But there were times where Toronto really was threatening, but fortunately, they were able to get away with it, and it really helped when Dylan Moore hit the leadoff home run. Then Cal Raleigh hit a 2-run home run after Julio Rodriguez got on base with a double. And then Randy Rosarina and Mitch Garver drove in a total of 3 runs. And then the bullpen was actually doing really well. But the problem I had, so Colin Snyder was actually brought in, but I thought he was pulled too early because he had 5 pitches, and he pitched an easy 1-2-3. I think he should have been given one more inning because that led to Gabe Spire having a struggling inning. Now, he didn't give up any runs, but I thought Colin Snyder should have pitched one more inning, because if it was already working, then give him another inning so that you can rest the rest of the arms. But that didn't happen, which led to Gabe Spire pitching and Trent Thornton pitching. Trent Thornton pitched great, don't get me wrong with that. But the other highlight of the game, and I think this was the highlight of the game because I thought it was going to be Cal Raleigh's home run, it was Rowdy Tellez who hit another 2-run home run, and that was his 3rd home run of the series. And I didn't even mention that he hit a home run earlier in the series in game 1. So he has hit home runs in 3 straight games, putting him at 4 home runs. And just as the weekend started, I thought he was going to be a potential DFA candidate to get Tyler Locklear up, but I was wrong, at least for now. So Rowdy Tellez was able to hit those bombs, and that basically put the Mariners on the Blue Jays out of reach, and the Mariners were able to secure that victory on an easy 1-2-3 inning by Casey Legumina. And the Mariners were able to take a 2 out of 3. And not only the Mariners won, but the Texas Rangers lost to the Dodgers 1-0. So now the Mariners are only 1 game back from the Texas Rangers for the division. But unfortunately, this is where I have my concerns. Mariners are playing against the Boston Red Sox, and the first thing that really terrifies me is that the Mariners have lost 12 of their last 15 games at Fenway Park. So that's where I'm really nervous. And I want to see like who exactly the pitchers are for the Boston series. On Tuesday, that's when, so the Mariners are going to have a day off, so at least they have some time to breathe. They got Bryce Miller, who is 1-2 with a 3.43 ERA. Hasn't been his most consistent. Against Sean Newcomb, he has a 3.64 ERA, so he's about around the same. He has a 1.90 whip, though. And then Wednesday is going to be announced. And then it's going to be Brian Wu and Crochet. So I think that's where the 23rd on Wednesday, that's where Emerson Hancock is going to play. So I think it's going to be a tough series. I think, in my prediction, I think it's going to be a 1 out of 3. It could be a sweep, but anything that's like even 1 out of 3 might feel like a wild success. And honestly, if the Mariners even win their first 2 games, and I feel like if they lose their 3rd game, I actually wouldn't even mind because it's just really hard to get those games in Boston. Like the Mariners, they actually haven't won a series in Boston since 2014. It has been that long since the Mariners have won a series in Boston. And the last time they won, like, I was just out of college and I was, I guess, looking for a job at the time because I was like in between jobs at the time. So a lot has happened, like, and I was about 10 pounds lighter. So that's how much, I guess, things have changed. And I wasn't exactly a softball seasoned either. Like I only got into I only played like my first softball season of that year. So that's how long it's been since the Mariners have won their last series in Boston. It's going to be tough because you're going up against players like, want to see who are they going to go up against in that lineup. Notable players that they'll be playing against. Like it was in the Chicago series where they actually lost 8-4. They'll be going up against the likes of Jarren Duran, Rafael Devers, Alex Bregman, Tristan Cassis, who's not actually off to a good start. Masataka Yoshida didn't play today, but they're going to go up against some pretty good bats and playing in Fenway Park, where it also is a hitter's park. So it's going to be a tough series, but all I can say is Godspeed to the Mariners. But the good news is for now, Mariners did win the series, took 2 of 3, which is why they are now only a game back from the Texas Rangers. Well, that's going to do it. I just want to say thank you for being part of my channel and subscribing. And let me give out a last shout out to my channel members. I don't have much, but I want to give them a shout out anyway. I want to give shout outs to Fritz. Not only has he joined my membership, but he has donated to my channel on my live streams. And William Cook, I also give you a huge shout out for not only joining, but being part of my membership, but also being the membership of Jay Trident Podcast. So thank you very much for your contributions of helping this channel. And I encourage all of you to help me with my channel, whether it's through liking the video, subscribing, the channel membership joinings, my Patreon page, and also donating during my live streams. And the other thing I just want to bring up one more time is I'm not going to be able to do all of the Boston series, and I will be missing the first 2 Miami games. The Boston series is due to Don't Quit Your Day Job. I'm going to the game on Friday against the Miami Dolphins, Miami Heat, Miami Marlins. Saturday I'll be at work. So Sunday is my next projected date to come back, but I will keep you guys updated. Anyways, just want to say thank you for watching this video, and go Mariners.